Ahead on 12 News, new development and new business. We look back at the big stories of 2013 for Maple Grove and Osseo. Plus, unrest in a Golden Valley neighborhood. Police surround a home for close to 8 hours. But first, a dangerous blend of slippery roads and New Year's celebrations.
Obviously, with it being New Year's Eve, we'll have extra patrols.
12 News starts right now. Slipping, sliding, and spinning out. It's a common sight for drivers across the Northwest Metro. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. As drivers venture out for New Year's celebrations, the State Patrol warns about a dangerous mix. Reporter Sonia Goins has more on the consequences of drinking and driving.
Have you been drinking tonight?
You don't want the new year to start off this way.
A couple at a Christmas party.
The Minnesota State Patrol says they'll be out in full force.
Obviously, with it being New Year's Eve, we'll have extra patrols out tonight statewide because we want everyone to enjoy New Year's Eve and enjoy it safely.
Although the State Patrol didn't arrest anyone for DWI this morning, there were a lot of accidents.
Our troopers responded to over 200 crashes and nearly 70 vehicle spinouts and vehicles off the road.
Maneuvering on icy roads is tricky enough when you're sober. Add in a few cocktails, and there could be consequences.
The holidays can be a bad time on Minnesota roads. Last year, at least 300 people were arrested between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day for DWI.
This woman knows what it's like to be locked up for DWI.
I remember seeing the lights flashing. I got pulled over. I refused to do the breathalyzer on the scene. I was handcuffed and put in the back seat of the car and taken into jail.
Besides risking killing someone else on the road, you also could lose your license and vehicle for driving while impaired.
I handle probably 50 or 60 DWI cases a year.
Richard Ohlenberg is a criminal defense attorney.
It is a misdemeanor for a first time if you're under .20.
He says even a first offense can be big trouble.
And even a first can become a gross misdemeanor, which has you can do up to a year in jail and a $3,000 fine on a gross misdemeanor.
If you're going to go out and party this New Year's, it's best to plan ahead for a sober ride.
If you've been drinking or even if you're just buzzing, find a ride. Just don't get behind the wheel and drive.
Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Metro Transit is offering free bus and transit rides this New Year's Eve. AAA also has a list of safe and sober rides in Hennepin County, and of course, you can always call a cab. It was a busy morning in one Golden Valley neighborhood while police tried to talk an armed man out of his home. Police Chief Stacy Carlson says the incident started around midnight in the 6700 block of Plymouth Avenue North. Family members called police saying the man fired a shot into the floor before barricading himself in a bedroom. The standoff lasted about 8 hours before police took the man into custody. No one was injured.
A second teen has been charged in the Mall of America attack on Minneapolis mayoral candidate Mark Andrew. 17-year-old Dia Elliott of Minneapolis has been charged with 3 felonies. The judge will rule if she will be tried as an adult. On Monday, a Brooklyn Park teen appeared in court for the attack. 18-year-old Latasha Cutler-Kane is accused of assaulting Andrew, while the other teen is accused of striking Andrew in the head with a metal baton. That attack came shortly after a young man stole Andrew's iPhone. Andrew had to be hospitalized to get stitches.
People without health insurance face a New Year's Eve midnight deadline to sign up for coverage on the state's MNsure website. However, the MNsure system remains plagued with technical issues, and MNsure officials were actually encouraging people to buy directly through insurance carriers to beat the deadline rather than use the website. The so-called drop-dead deadline to sign up for coverage is March 31st. After that time, Minnesotans who haven't signed up for a plan could face fines.
A new addition to a historic church will soon help the Golden Valley Historical Society display its collection of artifacts.
This is our main storage closet. We have shelves in here. All these boxes contain the archives that we've been collecting since 1973.
The Historical Society has no place of its own to show what's been collected over the decades, so a lot of it spends time in storage. The 132-year-old church was meant to be converted into a museum, but the church has been so popular for weddings it will stay the way it is. Instead, the Historical Society is adding a 1,200 square foot wing for the museum.
That's been a real sore spot that we keep collecting these things, but all we do is put them in the boxes or put them in some storage container and stick them away somewhere where we really should have them out where people can enjoy them.
The project is expected to cost more than $300,000. The addition should be finished by next summer. New development, new business, and some major milestones for both Maple Grove and Osseo.
They all happened in 2013 as we take a look back at the year in review.
Well, it's incredibly exciting for us in the city. I mean, it's a project that we've been working on for decades.
For Maple Grove, it's hard to imagine bigger news in 2013 than the announcement that Highway 610 will finally be completed, linking the last 2.5-mile stretch to Interstate 94. Relieving traffic congestion on I-494 near the Fish Lake interchange is the goal of an upcoming road project that will add wider but temporary shoulders to the roads during rush hour.
It requires the whole community to be involved. The public sector, the private sector, the companies, the schools.
Maple Grove celebrated its network of support for military service members when it officially became a Yellow Ribbon City last summer. The city also welcomed in several new high-profile businesses in 2013 with the openings of a Whole Foods store and the fast food restaurant Chick-fil-A. In downtown Osseo, the fate of its water tower loomed large this year as the city debates whether to repair and save the nearly 100-year-old tower or tear it down.
Osseo is getting a lot of new things, which is very important for a small town like this, but I also think it's really important to keep the old.
All right.
City leaders broke ground this summer on a 3-story, 71-unit apartment complex called 5 Central. Meantime, the Osseo City Council gave its approval to a redevelopment plan that will bring a $3 million gun club and 20-lane shooting range to the downtown, located on the site of a current parking lot. And in the Osseo School District, it was a victory in November as voters approved an operating levy and gave approval for the first time to a district technology levy.
So our students now are going to begin to experience some of the things that their peers in school districts all around us are already beginning to experience.
This past fall, Osseo's superintendent, Kate McGuire, was also named Superintendent of the Year by the Minnesota Association of School Administrators. Still ahead, a major health risk with this dangerous cold.
An eye-opening alert about frostbite is next. And then later in sports, the Maple Grove boys basketball team shoots for a holiday tournament championship.
But first, our cold snap continues. Thursday, a high of 0.
You can't see it or smell it, but health officials say radon is present in more than 40% of Minnesota homes.
Radon is a leading cause of cancer for people who don't smoke, and with the new year, there's a new law designed to ease the danger. It requires homeowners to disclose radon levels in writing when they sell their homes. You have to disclose whether your home has been tested for radon, how much radon was found, and whether a radon mitigation system has been installed to fix the problem. Health experts hope it will increase radon testing in Minnesota homes. Minnesotans will welcome in 2014 with a big dose of bitter cold.
Add a little alcohol into the mix along with cocktail dresses, open-toed shoes, and the challenges of finding a cab, and doctors say it creates the perfect recipe for frostbite. In today's Health Check, Elaine Cleveland tells us more about the dangers of frostbite and what you can do to prevent it.
Minnesota can be a brutal place in December. With temperatures near -2, the conventional wisdom is to bundle up.
I do recognize that just exposed skin, in a matter of a few minutes in this extreme cold can freeze.
However, not everyone heeds that message.
We got so cold so quick, so early.
Here at the Hennepin County Medical Center burn unit, they've already seen their fair share of frostbite cases.
Normally we see, 25, 30 of those patients in a year, and we've got pretty much close to that already, just in the month of December alone.
One such patient is this Brooklyn Park man who asked not to be identified.
Walking from a bus stop where the bus never came. As far as I know, I was out for a couple of hours.
Ultimately, he wound up with 2 frostbitten hands.
Still feeling pain. It was basically burning like they were on fire.
The result is reduced mobility in his fingers.
Right now, there isn't a set date for when, I'll actually fully recover, if I ever will fully recover.
Meantime, doctors fear that New Year's festivities combined with sub-zero temperatures and alcohol consumption could lead others to a similar fate.
We tend to get a few of these every year where, they're at the bar having a great time, and then for whatever reason they can't get home, and so they try to walk home, or they're stuck out in the cold, and they end up with a frostbite injury.
Bottom line, bundle up and get inside if you start to feel burning or numbness, because a frostbite injury can have lifelong repercussions.
Unfortunately, if you don't take care of your feet, then people like me might have to take off your feet.
Heed the weather. Make sure that you do have extra layers, like they say, on a night like tonight.
Thankfully for the Brooklyn Park frostbite patient, amputation won't be necessary.
I'm very thankful because I'm a cook. That's my occupation, so I'm real thankful that I didn't lose any limbs.
In Minneapolis, Elaine Cleveland, 12 News.
To avoid frostbite, doctors recommend you dress in layers, wear mittens instead of gloves, and drink responsibly because alcohol, while it might make you feel warmer, it actually decreases your core body temperature. Well, coming up, local mayors reveal their New Year's resolutions.
But first, the North Metro Stars start play in the Schwann's Cup Holiday Hockey Tournament. John Jacobs has sports up next.
While many holiday hockey and basketball tournaments wrapped up Friday and Saturday, some continued into this week. Maple Grove took aim at a championship in their bracket of the Bethel Boys Basketball Tournament. The Crimson in white against Bloomington Jefferson. Isaac Collins attacks from the wing, gets the tough shot to drop here, plus the foul. And that brings Maple Grove within 14-11. Jefferson counters with a baseline drive and layup by Kyle Lynch. He leads the Jaguars in scoring with 14 points. Taylor's shot gives it up for a better look to Tyler Barker, and he nails the three ball for the Crimson. They trail by 6. Final seconds of the first half, and Schott gets it away just before the buzzer. Crimson end the half on a high note, but the Jaguars still maintain the lead. Second half, Matt Lindgren with a quick release jumper off the inbounds play. Maple Grove is within 31-26, and they keep battling back. Juan Pickford turns the corner and gets his layup to spin around and drop. It's tied 37-all. Pickford scores 11. Tied at 40, and Collins makes a great play, driving and dishing to Jake Sterling for 2. A big hoop helps Maple Grove claim the championship trophy with a 44-40 win over Jefferson. At Augsburg, Hopkins meeting St. Paul Johnson for the title. Hopkins running. John Warren outlets to Vincent Shahid to Stephen Sharp for the nice layup as the Royals go up early. The Governors lose track of Sharp on the inbounds play, and he scores 2 here. It's 13-3 Hopkins in the opening minutes. Shahid sends it cross court to Jake Wright, who fakes, then drills a three-pointer for the Royals to make it 19-9. Hopkins challenges a shot, and the rebounds tip to Wright, who sends it ahead to Noble Fonbele, alone for the layup. Hopkins goes up 29-15 on Coach Vern Simmons and the Governors. Johnson attacks the glass on this one. The first 2 tries won't fall, but they stay with it. Mitchell McDonald gets the putback. Johnson trying to come back from a slow start. They give Hopkins a battle, but the Royals come out on top. Warren scores here as the Royals win to go 3-0 for the tournament. Also in boys basketball, Brooklyn Center claims the title at the Trinity Tournament, beating Crystal Ray Jesuit 79-72. Nakai Clark had 27 points to lead the Centaurs. The Schwann Cup Hockey Tournament features a number of different 8-team divisions in its annual boys and girls hockey holiday tournaments. The North Metro girls were matched up against a team from suburban Madison, Wisconsin. North Metro facing Sun Prairie in the Red Division quarterfinals. First period, and the Stars' Leah Yonkers with the shot, saved by Sun Prairie goalie Danny Deltkin. Later, it's Cougars forward Claire Johnson with a shot on net. Hannah Paulson makes one of her 17 saves in the game. Second period, with the Stars up 1-0, they create a turnover. Then Margot Coombs passes across to Olivia Fredrickson, who scores, and it's 2-0 North Metro. But Sun Prairie would get one back on a 5-on-3 power play. Jada Ward buries the wrist shot, and it's a 2-1 game after 2. Cougars add one in the third to send the game to overtime. And in the OT, Tatum Manning puts a shot on net. Anna Ballweber gets to the rebound and bangs home the game winner. North Metro wins for just the second time this season. 3-2 Stars is the final. They play Northfield in the semifinals. Well, the final roster for the U.S. men's Olympic hockey team will be announced on New Year's Day. Plymouth native Blake Wheeler is making a statement to be one of the last players picked for the upcoming Winter Games in Russia. Wheeler has 14 points in December for the Winnipeg Jets, including a game-winning goal in overtime. The Jets win over Colorado on Sunday. Rec graduate Wheeler was considered to be a long shot to make Team USA until his recent hot streak. Wheeler will find out on Wednesday if he's going to Sochi for the Winter Games. The roster announcement will be live on NBC following the Winter Classic game Wednesday between Detroit and Toronto. Good luck to him, and that's a look at sports.
All right, thanks, John. We'll be right back.
From building up the business climate to keeping a small town feel.
As 2013 draws to a close, we asked several of our local mayors what resolutions they had for their city in the coming years. And here's what some of them had to say.
We're going to have a new city council with 2 new city council members, and so I'm really hopeful for some productive civil conversations that we're going to have.
New Hope is a small city, and it just happens to be surrounded by a big metropolis. And I really want to keep it as a small town. I want people to have that small town feeling. So I want the farmers market to continue, and we'll do everything we can. It's really important to me that businesses prosper.
I would like to see the city continue to move forward and draw in some new, good commercial, industrial businesses to our city. We're going to keep working on that and finding ways to bring those businesses to our city and keep the ones that we have here.
And the promise of a new year, you never know what the new year will bring. But we do know one thing here at 12, our friend and colleague Renee Banot will be missed.
That's right. Renee is leaving Channel 12. In fact, today is her last day. She is leaving to take care of her 2 young children. Renee says it was a difficult decision to make, but as you can imagine, those young smiles usually win out. Look at her. Renee, of course, will be remembered for her own warm smile, not to mention her dedication to the job here. And we can't thank her enough for her hard work and 3 years with us here at Channel 12. It went by so fast, and we will miss her.
She has done some great stories, great sense of humor, has a little 2-year-old and a baby at home, so she's going to have her hands full.
She's been great to work with. Always here bright and early, and had a very long drive to get here, so
yes.
We appreciate
with
that.
A smile.
That's
always
right.
With a smile.
Wish you luck, Renee. Thanks for everything. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us.
Happy New Year's.